Yo, welcome back. It's Garbage here with another war video. So this war, we are back in tier 2. So we're looking at higher health pools and a little different nodes. Not much different nodes in my path, but definitely can feel the higher attack and health. So here we have a Nick Fury on our first fight on path 9, 1A. So yeah, we're just looking to control when he throws his special one, which hopefully is never. So we're going to freely attack into him, trying to get him as close as we can to a second bar. That way we don't have to risk him throwing the special one. So there you saw it perfectly. He threw his heavy when I was blocking when he was against the wall. So he's unblockable, but he loses his first life. So we're just trying to draw out that heavy, get him back to a special 2. So you can see this fight is going really well. And you can see my health is at 75%, and you're probably like, what? Why is it that low? And that is because when there's a debuff on me, even though I purify it soon, but once that happens, they get a Fury, which in Tier 2, it's 540% of their attack value goes up. So I took, I think, 2 parries for, it was an absurd amount of block damage. So even though I played it pretty much perfectly, I still had to use some potions. I didn't use as many potions because I was hoping to heal up on the debuff he puts on me from the special one he throws. So we're looking to block ineptitude, that's what it's called. But kind of forgot that Kingpin just purifies that right away. So not going to be much healing, but yeah. So we're just taking lots of blocks in the corner. He has lots of special ones to throw. But we're managing the fight. We're managing his power meter pretty well. You know, no sense in trying to dex all these when we can just block them. We're not 100% any missed dex, and if we're against the wall, we're going to take a ton of burst damage. So really don't want to risk that. So 12k crit to end the fight there. You know, things pretty smoothly for those first 2 fights. So here we're going to use Kingpin again, I believe. Not sure what we're waiting for here, but just want to make sure we're healed up in tier 2. Now, the stifles that Nihilus places when you has a chance to proc on you when you block, Kingpin just purifies that as well. So he's just a great counter for Nihilus in general, especially when you have Hood on the team, because he'll just use purify those stifles to get more combat power rate and attack as well. Really have no idea what happened there. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one, but we're not too worried about it. Go for a reparry. Nice little dex on the special one. Not trying to mess up another special one dex. So there we go. Couple potions there. And my boy Antang cleared Power Snack and Mixmaster. Now, this kitty fight on the Disorient node, shared mini, I was really worried about this one. Because I didn't have room to fit like Guardian or Guillotine 2099 for the no crit. So I was just really trying to think how I could, limit her phase abilities. But yeah, we're just really thinking hard about, what our strategy should be. And I think we end up starting with a bar of power, PS1, and we're just gonna throw the special one right away to lower her ability accuracy by 65%, I believe. So that should help with her gaining prowess. Once she gets the 3 prowess, she'll phase for 2 seconds. Whenever she goes in for a medium, whenever she dashes in. So we will take block damage trying to bait out heavies when she does get to 3 prowess, and we'll start phasing. So she has a chance to phase when going in. Now we have 2 on her, so I'm not sure if she charges in that the miss still occurs, but we only have 1 on her right now. We're just trying to find openings here because now she has 3 again, so now here I make the mistake. I forget that the phase gets paused, and so I just rush in, take a combo. But other than that, it was a really, really clean fight. So, yeah, just more potions. But definitely glad to get the solo there. So now we have a Magneto on 1-9 open hazardous shift. So going to be lots of intercepts. And yeah, I can't stun him and do damage, or else that'll just get reflected right back on me. So I mean, this is good placement for someone who you can't really bait heavies because of his unstoppable unless you have some sort of slow. But we're pretty comfortable intercepting. So I've basically taken all the Mags bosses the last 2 seasons or so, and he's been the boss quite a few times. So I'm very comfortable with, what his animations are and kind of what his mannerisms are. Now, obviously, since he's not on a boss mode, he's not going to be as aggressive, but yeah. So we're getting some clean intercepts here. Looking for another opening here. Baiting out that SP1. So far it's going very well. And there we go. Nice finish. And that is by far the worser of the 2 Path 9 nodes. So here we have a Spider-Man 99. Good old Miguel. We have class advantage going into this. And we can parry, stun with ease. So just looking to burst down and at the same time gain some health. There we go. Give him space to throw that special 1. There we go. Special 2. Boom, boom, boom. And taking no hits that fight. Very clean fight. Get some regen back from the regen boost. Now this one I wasn't as worried about Kitty. But, it's not, you can't take this fight lightly. And you will see here, Kingpin absolutely destroys it like it's nothing. He handles this fight so well. Some of it's the RNG of the prompts that were given him. So we don't want him to throw a heavy, and we're obviously not going to. Give him space. And special 1 to lower ability accuracy is never a bad thing. At least not against Mojo. So you can see there's some Mystic Dispersion there. But we're fine beating out the special 1s. And you can see he is melting. He is absolutely melting. 20%. Get clip there. Looks like I'm running indestructibility. Just take the block on. Take the last hit on the block. Throw another special 1. and he goes down. So other than getting... Now we're moving on to the boss tier, I believe. And this is why we brought Mole Man. I think there's a Void on 1% cap that we're going to be taking. Kingpin doesn't work against Void because he starts with, depending on the SIG, I think either 2 to 4 rage at the start, and that counts as a debuff. And when you have a debuff on yourself when fighting Void, he does damage to you. So Kingpin is not a very good Void counter because he's almost always going to have a debuff on himself. So just boosting up here, both my attackers are skill, so that's why we're putting them on for this fight. So we're just looking to get as many bleed debuffs as we can here. And you're going to see this is a very sloppy fight. Just lots of missed parries. And it's also a long fight as well. So there we get clipped. Took a couple crits. And yeah, my parry was just not landing, you know. So here we're trying to gather ourselves together. Purifying that debuff that he places on us pretty much right away. So that's what Mole Man has going for us here. And there we block a heavy attack from Stand Your Ground as well as Mole Man abilities. So we go back down to 0, whatchamacallits. So we're still losing the fight, and we're over a minute in. So we're really trying to, you know, get the one shot here. And I keep going in after a special one without dashing in and then dexing the projectile, which I have done before, but I'm just out of practice. Luckily, we purify the stun debuff. So there we go in again. That time, it was early enough. Keep baiting out the special ones. So there I purify it just in time. There we, you know, all our hits are going to crit. So here we're doing lots of bleed damage. This is what we're looking for. You can see all our crits are 2800. We're hitting the cap every time, but those bleeds are ticking away very nicely. Here we're going to throw a special 2. And the power back boosters do nothing just because of the 1% cap. But there we go. We get the solo. It wasn't at all pretty. Very, very sloppy fight. You know, if I'm taking that in the future, I think not going in after he throws his special one is the way to go, unless I dash in and then dex the projectile. But yeah. So we're going back to Kingpin here. Not sure. Guess we're just checking. Probably just gathering ourselves after that really crappy fight. So here we go. Kingpin is a great counter for Terex just because he purifies all of like the armor breaks that he places on us. His aura, rock aura, is still gonna hurt, but we want to use his aggressiveness to just getting our intercepts, and then, you know, once his rock aura has been up for a while and increases in potency, then we just want to back off, let it run out. You can see he's just playing into my stand-up intercepts just really, really nicely. So here we enter overdrive. Or overpower, not overdrive, sorry. I believe that's Punisher 2099. But, yeah, indestructibility. Keep going for those stand-up intercepts. You can just see we're doing hella damage right now. Fight's going perfectly. You can see those now that Rock Aura is starting to, do some damage to us. So we back off. Get a nice clean intercept. And, yeah, just things are going so well. I think he throws a special one here. He gets 4 indestructibility. So we're going to do 4 stand-up intercept just like we've done all fight and finish him off. Beautiful, beautiful fight. So we brought Mole Man for both the Void fight and this fight here, MODOK. So as long as we stay under 10, we'll always keep that True Sense. So that's what we're going for here. Use the special ones, but then let him hit into our block. We go unstoppable, and we can get our ends that way. The only problem with that is, I guess we're grabbing some potions here, but the only problem with that is the special one places a shock on him, which makes high ground accelerate its timer. So he builds his charges really fast. I think he gets to 4 or 5, and block damage really starts to hurt. And the unstoppable only works on non-parries. So, parry will decrease the block damage, but we're not going for that. So I think if I take this fight again, I will go for special 2s, not special 1s. Shouldn't be a problem. But, you learn not necessarily mistakes, but just ways to improve the fight. So we're using a couple parries here. We have Limber, so we can't do that too many times, which is why it's nice to have the special ones to keep increasing your charges. So there you can see what I do there. That's what we're going to be doing most of the fight. Using that for our ends. But if you watch the timer, once he special 1 shock is on him, you can see that timer speed up, and there's no way you can outpace that timer. It just goes way too fast. So here he's at 2 high ground charges. 2's not too bad, but when you get to 4 or 5, then it really starts to hurt. So we are really winning the health battle here by a lot. The shock is really giving him lots of high ground. So there I miss a full SP1 dex, which hurts. Place another shock on him. He's at 5 now. It's really going to start to hurt. And he just caught me in between stepping back, so you can see the chunk. You can see the adrenaline healing, just how much that took off. But we finish him off. This is tier 2, and we've gone deathless so far, so no complaints from me. A couple sloppy fights in boss tier, but so we leave the hazardous shift up for Kingpin. Got our power back boost, so we're looking to chain some special 2s. But this is a rank 4 Doom, and as you'll see, the block penetration is just really, really high, much higher than I was anticipating. So you really need your special dexes to be completely on point, or else he'll probably get you just from damage through block. Luckily, I purify that shock before he can heavy me, which is, yeah, saved my life probably. Just trying to bait out this special one. And yeah, he doesn't purify that incinerate, or else I would have been at like 50% health. But yeah, failed decks on the special too, and I'm not looking good here. Looking to bait another special too. Block the second hit, but then we get the full evade on the beam, which that's the part that I don't want to mess up on. And I think there's just too many debuffs for Kingpin to handle. You have the shocks from his mediums, the hazardous shift stuff, the incinerates from his special too, and yeah, not a good fight. So yeah, so I definitely don't recommend using Kingpin in the future. I would probably use Void or I-Bomb or someone like that. So yeah, learn from my mistakes, and we got pretty much crushed in this T2 war. Pretty obvious that we need to get a whole lot better to be able to compete in Tier 2. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed watching, maybe learned something, and garbage out.